Coming up, we'll be showing you some of the fun activities Benidorm has to offer, so you can add them to your list of things to do when you're next here, and we'll be explaining Benidorm's plan to bring back the Brits this winter.
Hi everyone, Michelle Baker here, creator of this series of Benidormforever videos, to not only keep you in touch with Benidorm, but also show off parts of the resort and things that you can do that you probably haven't discovered yet. The temperatures are high, the sun is shining, let's get started.
September is a beautiful month in Benidorm, and many locals will tell you it's perhaps one of our favourites. The temperatures drop a little, the tourists head home, and we get to enjoy the resort at a more leisurely pace. Obviously this year we're not quite so keen to see the tourists go, but despite the pandemic, Benidorm is really holding its own. The beaches are nicely busy, and although the beach wardens are still on hand to make sure everyone is adhering to the safety rules, you no longer have to pre-book your space. You can just walk on and pick a plot. There's plenty of room for everyone, and the weather is absolutely fantastic. In today's video, we'll be taking you to a part of Benidorm that is very much undiscovered by tourists and even locals. And we want to show off some of the activities on offer here. And we're going to start our journey with the aid of an electric bike. Benidorm is a very eco-friendly city and has won many awards for sustainability, which not a lot of people would naturally associate with Benidorm, but it's true, and we'll touch on this more in another video. But to this end, electric forms of transport are championed beyond any other. In fact, there are an incredible 100 kilometres of cycle lanes throughout Benidorm, making an adventure on an electric scooter or a bike the perfect choice to discover our resort. Now, for those of you like me who had never been on an e-bike before, rest assured it could not be easier. There are several hire shops around resort, but we chose Teo, located just off the Levante beach. Owner Sergio tells you exactly how to use it, and provided you've ridden a bike at some point in your life, you'll be absolutely fine. So after a quick lesson, we were off. And with us for our day of adventure is Sergio, who works at Visit Benidorm, a fantastic platform for promoting Benidorm to potential and existing visitors. Sergio knows absolutely loads about Benidorm, and we spent ages swapping facts which we'll share with you in future videos. But today, for starters, he wanted to show us the sand cliffs, which I'd never even heard of. So we set off along the Levante beach and up what many locals know as Cardiac Hill for obvious reasons. But look, on our electric bike it was a doddle, not a huff or a puff in sight. In fact, within just a couple of minutes, the cluster of skyscrapers gives way to breathtaking views, and I've got to say that even though I live here, I was blown away by the scenery. Back on the bikes, we continued our journey to the Punta Del Cabello. This is where you'll find these stunning sand cliffs. Because yes, they're made entirely of sand and are the tallest sand cliffs in the whole of Europe. Aren't they just amazing? But more amazing is how close this is to the Benidorm you all know and love. This is the far end of the Sierra Gelada mountain range that connects Benidorm with Albia. And by the way, if you like walking, you can walk all across the top, from the cross on the hill above Benidorm to the lighthouse in Albia. It takes about 3.5 hours, and on a clear day from the top you can see the island of Ibiza. Next to the sand cliffs you can see a lookout tower. Each tower has a name to identify it, and this one is called the Torre de las Caletas, the Tower of the Coves. For centuries, Spain was constantly under the threat of attack, and manning the lookout towers and protecting the coastline was a bit of a chore. And this explains why many of the towns and villages have such strange boundaries with fingers of land reaching down to the shoreline, like Alfaz del Pi and Finestrat, for example. It was to share the burden and make everyone responsible for a chunk of the coast. Back on the bikes, we headed back into town, and down below you can see the unspoilt coves the tower takes its name from, only accessed on foot, and you can imagine smugglers doing a roaring trade back in the day. but within minutes the skyscrapers come back into view and the path is overhung with magnificent million-dollar mansions with infinity pools. This brings you swiftly back to reality. As a side note, these posh pads start from a cool 1.7 million euros, but hey, you can't put a price on a view like this. Once again at the beach, we head towards the old town. And it's interesting to note that the beach is one way for motors, but electric transport can travel in both directions. Another nod to eco-friendly Benidorm. At the lookout point between the two beaches, we stop to enjoy the view. No visit to Benidorm is complete without a visit to the famous Mirador. Steeped in history, this picture postcard location has provided the backdrop for a million holiday snaps, and we'll talk more about the history of this magical place in another video. We then journeyed back along the newly remodelled Avenida Mediterráneo, again with a two-way bike lane when traffic is only allowed to go in one direction, reflecting time and again Benidorm's commitment to the environment. Our entire e-bike adventure took just 2 hours and the bike hire cost just €12. Talk about value for money. A whole day costs €25, or you can hire it for a week and charge it in your hotel if you plan on travelling further. It's an excellent way to see the city and the surrounding area, and dare I say, it's slightly more sassy than a mobility scooter. All in all, a fabulous experience and one I absolutely recommend you include on your next holiday in Benidorm. But now it's time to up the pace a bit. We're headed off to cool down on a jet ski. There are loads of water sports you can enjoy here in Benidorm, but right here at the start of the Levante beach, you can water ski, jet ski, take a trip on a banana boat, go parasailing. But we opted for a jet ski as I haven't been on one since the 90s and our Tess has never been on one, so we thought we'd give it a go. Now you can just turn up, but it's best to book your slot ahead. You don't need a licence. You do need to wear a life jacket and it costs €80 for half an hour, which if there's two of you is just €40 each. Safety is absolutely paramount. The jet skis are not allowed anywhere near the beach, so you take a short ride to where they're anchored on a Zodiac. Once there, your guide will explain how to operate the jet ski and that you must travel in convoy and stay around 60 metres apart. Then we were off, hurtling across the bay with the most spectacular views of the Benidorm skyline as a backdrop and just a totally exhilarating ride. But it soon became clear I was too slow for Tess, so I was banished to the boat to film them while Sergio and Tess raced the waves. Feel free to tell the guide what you'd like to see, because you can get pretty far pretty quick. So you could cross the entire resort, for example, or head over for a closer look at the Benidorm Island, or go round the back of the mountain and check out the coves and sand cliffs that we saw earlier. But just being out on a jet ski on a workday was good enough for me, and definitely something else you should add on your list of must-dos when you next visit Benidorm. Back on dry land, before we go, let's show you some of the sights more familiar to you. The indoor market is now almost entirely open, which is fantastic to see, and the outdoor Wednesday and Sunday market is starting again on Sunday. It's also great to see that some of the bars are doing well, especially those out by the campsites like the Corner Bar, so there are plenty of places to go if you decide to visit. And let's hear from one of the happy campers.
We came on the 25th of August.
And what would you say to others that aren't sure whether to come?
Oh, I'd come. It's fantastic.
Do you feel safe?
Very, very safe. No problems.
Is it warm enough for you?
Very hot.
And whilst out filming, we caught up with Martin from Stars Bar, who appeared in one of our very first videos as one of the first bars to open after the lockdown.
Martin, you were one of the first bars to reopen.
Yeah.
Are you glad you made that decision?
Yeah, we're glad we opened. We're glad we opened.
Been a good summer?
Good, yeah. Spring Beach was worth opening. You know, it was worth. There's people about. They're coming in, and it's nice. The beach is still there. The beach is one of the best in the world, and it's a lot. There's lots of places to eat and to drink. There's loads of places open.
And the sun is shining.
And the sun is always shining.
Thank you and good luck.
No,
Martin.
thanks very much. Thanks very much.
Other bars like the famous John and Joseph's are ready and waiting. Owners Ross, Pedro and Angel take it in turns to sweep the terrace and clean the bar so they'll be ready when the tourists arrive. The whole resort is ready and waiting, and we're confident with everything Benidorm has to offer, you'll come back as soon as you can. And that may be sooner than we expected, because the Town Hall of Benidorm has just announced that they are requesting an air corridor for Brits to visit Benidorm in the autumn, in a similar way that the Spanish islands have done. Under the title Benidorm Island, the proposal was officially unveiled this week and outlines the measures the city already has in place to keep tourists safe and the new steps they are prepared to take should the proposal be accepted, like testing at the airport on arrival and departure and tracing and tracking tourists, not only throughout their holiday but also up to a fortnight after they return home. Not one single person has been traced to have contracted coronavirus in Benidorm this summer, and so with the backing of the Valencian region, Benidorm Town Hall are now calling on Boris Johnson to listen to the thousands of Brits that want to come to Benidorm because they feel it's as safe or even safer than their hometown. The news is being well received locally as it offers a glimmer of hope for the months ahead, and of course we'll keep you informed of any progress. Next time, we'll be playing around at the Melia Via Aitana golf course and revealing the secrets behind the perfect paella.
We hope you enjoyed today's video. Our objective as always is to keep Benidorm fans connected, but also to inspire new visitors to discover Benidorm. Please like and subscribe to our channel, share the videos and leave us a comment. Sergio, who was out with us today, said everyone has an opinion of Benidorm, no one's indifferent. What's yours? Stay safe everyone, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.